My name's Joe and I was born with congenital hypothyroidism. I'd had the Guthrie test, which is the heel prick test for newborn babies. It tests for many congenital diseases and it came back positive for CH, and so I had to go out to hospital and the endocrinologist diagnosed it there. At the beginning I had to go quite frequently to see a guy called Professor Jerry Wales at the Sheffield Children's Hospital. I left Jerry Wales when I was about 15, 16 years old, because that's the usual age of when you transfer from paediatric care into adult care. The problem was with hypothyroidism is, from the outside, from me now looking back at it, it is tough, but the way that hypothyroidism acts on you is that you don't really care. And that's probably one of the saddest things about it. All these things going off, but you just I sort of accepted it as being my lot and being normal. Across sort of 3 years, the blood tests had got dramatically worse. So, I mean, my TSH had gone into triple figures slowly. So it had gone from single figures, double figures, and ultimately into triple figures. And that had manifested itself into more severe symptoms. So the GP had been on antidepressants for 2 years, which is actually a common thing for people with thyroid disease, is that often they're put on antidepressants before they're treated for thyroid disease. And it manifested itself across all symptoms in hypothyroidism. And, you know, the list of symptoms you can get is as long as my arm, so I'm not going to talk about them all, but it's just things like fatigue, depression, aches and pains, skin problems, digestive problems, headaches, and I had like neurological symptoms looking back as well. So I had like buzzing in my arms down into my fingers, which was quite disturbing. But I just brushed it off as if it was normal, which I should never have done. But and then I had a really abnormal blood test, and ultimately then I was transferred from that one GP to another GP who was really proactive and really good and said it should never have been left this long. And he referred me to the lead endocrinologist at the Sheffield Teaching Hospital, a guy called Professor Tony Wheatman. And he was straight onto it, and he was really good and helped me go back to basics and then treat it properly. Tony brought me back down to a minimal dose, and he adjusted it and increased it up to a dose which was right for me. It took me quite a long time to recover, you know, psychologically, emotionally, and physically from what I'd experienced. Ultimately, it was like, yeah, it was a steady progression, and when I got to a situation where I was in an appropriate TSH level for me, it was then that I could start, you know, get readjusted to the real Joe. I did my GCSEs again, and then I progressed on to A-levels with a view to going on to university, and I had I did one of my placements at a football club, and they were all encouraging me to go on and do, you know, further study. And I think at that point I'd stopped believing in myself, but with all this encouragement that I was getting, I thought, oh, I might as well go for university because that's what they were all saying to me. And then steadily I started to see that I could work at that level. And so I did my A-levels and then ultimately went to university, and I've just recently graduated. I haven't got any symptoms of hypothyroidism at all, and I'm able to do everything that I've always wanted to do. So I can study, can work, spend time with my family and friends, and just do what everybody else can do. So yeah, I'm all good. What I'd say to people with hypothyroidism is make sure you take your medication every day, and as far away from any food as possible would be my recommendation, because that works for me. And you know, if you do miss a dose, it's important to take it as soon as you can, because that is the thing that's keeping you well. There shouldn't be any problems long term. There are issues if it isn't managed, but these are all reversed with correct treatment, so it's nothing to worry about.